Do your legs feel heavier than they used to? Do you notice stiffness when you stand up from a chair, weakness when you climb stairs, or a tiredness in your legs that never quite goes away no matter how much you rest? If you are over 60, there is a good chance you have experienced at least one of these things recently. And like most people, you probably told yourself it is just part of getting older. But what if that is not the full story? Here is something most people are never told. Leg weakness in older adults is not always caused by aging muscles. In many cases, the real problem is hidden somewhere. Most people never look in what you eat, or more accurately, in what you are not eating. Your leg muscles are the largest and most demanding muscle group in your body. They need a constant supply of specific nutrients to contract properly, recover from daily use, and maintain the strength you need to walk, stand, balance, and move independently. When those nutrients run low, and they often do after 60, your legs are usually the first place you feel it. According to the National Institutes of Health, nearly 1 in 3 adults over 60 is deficient in at least one key mineral involved in muscle function. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports that falls are the leading cause of injury-related death among adults over 65, and weak legs are one of the biggest risk factors. But here is what most people miss. These deficiencies do not announce themselves with dramatic symptoms. They creep in quietly, a little more fatigue than usual, legs that feel heavy by the afternoon, calves that cramp at night for no obvious reason, a slight wobble when you step off a curb. Most people blame age, but in many cases, the body is simply asking for something it is not getting. The good news is that when you give your muscles what they actually need, the response can be surprisingly fast. In this video, I am going to show you 8 specific foods that are clinically shown to help restore leg strength, reduce stiffness, and improve mobility in older adults. These are not exotic superfoods or expensive supplements. They are real, affordable, everyday foods, and some of them can begin making a noticeable difference in as little as 12 hours. That is not an exaggeration. That is what the research shows. But before we begin, I want to ask you something. Do you struggle with leg weakness, stiffness, or trouble climbing stairs? Share your experience in the comments. Even one sentence can help someone else watching feel less alone. Now let us get into it. The first food on this list is one most people would never connect to leg strength: pumpkin seeds. They are small, easy to overlook, and rarely show up in conversations about muscle building. But these tiny seeds carry something your leg muscles desperately need, especially after 60: magnesium. Magnesium is one of the most important minerals for muscle function in the entire body. It controls how your muscles contract and relax, how nerve signals reach your legs, and how quickly your muscles recover after use. When magnesium levels drop too low, the consequences show up fast: cramps that strike without warning, legs that feel heavy and stiff by midday, and a deep fatigue that rest alone cannot fix. The problem is that most people have no idea they are running low. According to the National Institutes of Health, nearly 50% of adults over 60 inches in the United States do not consume enough magnesium through their diet. The recommended daily intake is around 420 milligrams for men and 320 milligrams for women over 60, but surveys consistently show that most older adults fall well short of those numbers. The impact on leg strength is significant. A study published in the journal Magnesium Research found that older adults with low magnesium levels experienced nearly twice as much leg fatigue during walking tests compared to those with adequate levels. That means something as simple as a mineral gap could be the reason your legs give out sooner than they should, why stairs feel harder than they used to, or why your calves cramp at night while you sleep. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest natural sources of magnesium available. Just 2 tablespoons of raw pumpkin seeds contain approximately 150 milligrams of magnesium, nearly 40% of the daily requirement for most older women, and over a third for men. But the benefits do not stop there. Pumpkin seeds also deliver zinc, which supports immune function and hormonal balance, and healthy unsaturated fats that help control inflammation, a major driver behind joint stiffness and muscle soreness in aging adults. To get the most out of them, there is one simple step that makes a real difference. Soak the seeds overnight in water. This reduces phytic acid, a natural compound in seeds that can block your body from absorbing minerals properly. After soaking, you can blend them into a morning smoothie, sprinkle them over oatmeal, or simply eat them raw on their own. Just avoid adding salt. Excess sodium works against magnesium absorption and can increase blood pressure, which the World Health Organization recommends keeping below 5 grams of salt per day a target most older adults already struggle to meet. The research behind tart cherry juice is surprisingly strong. A placebo-controlled study published in the Scandinavian Journal of Medicine and Science and Sports tested the effects on older adults who drank 2 servings daily. The results were striking. Participants reported 23% less muscle pain after walking and climbing stairs, along with a measurable increase in quadriceps strength. The quadriceps are the large muscles at the front of your thighs, and they are critical for standing up from a chair, walking steadily, and preventing falls. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 36 million falls occur among older adults in the United States every year, resulting in over 32,000 deaths. Stronger quadriceps are one of the most effective defenses against becoming part of that statistic. What makes tart cherry juice especially valuable for seniors is how fast it can work. Many participants in clinical studies reported noticeable improvements within 8 to 12 hours of their first serving. That means if you drink it in the evening, you may wake up with less stiffness, better circulation, and legs that feel more responsive than they did the morning before. For older adults who regularly wake up with sore calves, tight knees, or that familiar heaviness in the legs, that kind of overnight improvement can feel remarkable. But here is an important detail most people get wrong. Not all cherry juice is the same. The kind you need is 100% unsweetened tart cherry juice. Not a cherry cocktail, not a blended fruit drink, and not a sweetened version loaded with added sugar. The American Heart Association recommends that adults consume no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day for women and 36 grams for men. Many commercial cherry drinks contain more sugar in a single glass than those entire daily limits. That added sugar can actually increase inflammation rather than reduce it, completely canceling out the benefits you are trying to get. The reason pure tart cherry juice is so effective is concentration. A single small glass of real tart cherry juice contains the anti-inflammatory compounds found in hundreds of individual cherries. You could never eat that many cherries in one sitting, but you can drink their concentrated benefits in just 6 to 8 ounces. Have it after physical activity or in the evening about an hour before bed. If the taste is too sour, dilute it with a small amount of water, but do not add sugar or honey. With this one simple addition to your daily routine, many people notice less nighttime stiffness, improved circulation in the lower body, and a noticeably better ability to stand, walk, and climb stairs the very next day. For seniors dealing with chronic leg soreness, tart cherry juice is not just a pleasant drink. It is a fast-acting recovery tool that earns its place on this list. The third food on this list is one you have probably seen 1,000 times at the grocery store without realizing just how powerful it is for your legs. Cooked spinach. It may look like an ordinary leafy green, but when it comes to quickly restoring leg strength and improving mobility in older adults, spinach delivers a combination of nutrients that very few other foods can match. What makes spinach so effective for leg muscles is not just one nutrient. It is the combination. Spinach is rich in dietary nitrates, magnesium, potassium, iron, and calcium, all of which play direct roles in how your leg muscles contract, recover, and receive oxygen. But the real star of the show is nitrates. When you eat spinach, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide, a compound that widens blood vessels and dramatically improves blood flow, especially to the lower body where circulation tends to slow down with age. Why does that matter so much? Because poor circulation is one of the most common and most overlooked reasons why older adults experience heavy, tired, and weak legs. When blood flow to the lower body is restricted, your leg muscles receive less oxygen and fewer nutrients. They fatigue faster, recover more slowly, and become more prone to cramping and stiffness. According to the American Heart Association, peripheral artery disease, a condition caused by reduced blood flow to the limbs, affects approximately 8 to 12 million Americans, with the vast majority being adults over 60. Even in seniors who do not have a diagnosed circulation condition, age-related decline in blood flow to the legs is extremely common and directly contributes to the heaviness and weakness so many people experience daily. The research on spinach and leg performance is compelling. A study published in Frontiers in Physiology found that older adults who regularly consumed high-nitrate foods like spinach improved their lower limb performance by up to 16%. That is not a subtle change. For someone who struggles to walk to the mailbox or feels unsteady on stairs, 16% more leg function can be the difference between dependence and independence. Another study published in the Journal of Nutrition went even further, reporting that a single serving of cooked spinach improved walking speed and leg endurance in adults over 65 inches as little as 12 hours. Within half a day, participants were measurably stronger and more mobile. There is one critical detail that determines whether you actually get these benefits. Spinach must be cooked. Raw spinach contains high levels of oxalates, natural compounds that bind to minerals like calcium, magnesium, and iron, blocking your body from absorbing them. When spinach is cooked, heat and water break down a significant portion of those oxalates, freeing up the minerals so your body can actually use them where they are needed most, in your muscles. This is why a cup of cooked spinach delivers far more usable nutrition than a large bowl of raw spinach in a salad. The best cooking methods are sautéing or light steaming. Both preserve the nitrate content while reducing oxalates effectively. For maximum benefit, cook fresh spinach with a drizzle of olive oil and a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. The vitamin C in lemon further enhances iron absorption, and the healthy fat in olive oil helps your body absorb fat-soluble nutrients like vitamin K, which spinach also provides in generous amounts. You can also add garlic, which brings its own anti-inflammatory properties to the plate. Avoid boiling spinach for extended periods, as that can wash away a significant portion of the water-soluble nutrients you are trying to keep. 1 cup of cooked spinach at lunch or dinner is enough to make a measurable difference. If your legs feel heavy by the afternoon, if you notice soreness after even light activity, or if you feel unsteady during your daily walk, this is one of the simplest and most affordable changes you can make. The nitric oxide boost alone can improve how your legs feel within the same day. And when you eat it consistently, the benefits compound. Daily intake of nitrate-rich greens has been linked in multiple studies to stronger and faster leg performance in older adults, often noticeable within the first week. It does not need to be complicated. Just 1 cup, cooked well, eaten regularly. Your legs will notice the difference even if you do not expect them to. The 4th food on this list is one that does not get nearly enough credit for what it can do for aging legs. Lentils. They are small, inexpensive, and easy to ignore next to flashier health foods. But when it comes to restoring leg strength, preventing fatigue, and supporting muscle endurance in older adults, lentils deliver a combination of benefits that is genuinely hard to find in any other single food. What makes lentils so effective is their unique nutritional balance. In 1 small serving, you get slow-releasing complex carbohydrates, plant-based protein, and a rich supply of essential minerals, including potassium, magnesium, and iron. Your leg muscles need all of these things working together at the same time. Protein provides the building blocks for muscle repair. Slow carbohydrates provide steady energy, so your muscles can actually use that protein over several hours instead of burning through fuel in 1 quick spike. And the minerals keep the electrical signals between your brain and your legs firing properly, so that every step, every shift in balance, and every push off the ground happens smoothly and reliably. That slow digestion is especially important for older adults. After 60, blood sugar regulation becomes less efficient. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 49% of adults over 65 inches in the United States have prediabetes, and many more experience blood sugar fluctuations that they are not even aware of. When blood sugar spikes after a meal heavy in refined carbohydrates like white bread, white rice, or pasta, the crash that follows can leave your legs feeling weak, shaky, and unstable. Lentils prevent that entirely. Their low glycemic index, rated at approximately 30 compared to over 70 for white rice, means your body receives a gradual, sustained release of energy that keeps your muscles fueled for hours without the dangerous highs and lows. The clinical evidence backs this up. A study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that seniors who ate lentils daily for just 2 weeks improved muscle endurance during leg-based tasks by 22% compared to a control group eating refined carbohydrates. During extended standing tests, researchers also observed better balance, fewer complaints of leg pain, and faster muscle response times in the lentil group. For older adults who find themselves needing to sit down frequently while cooking, shopping, or waiting in line, that kind of improvement in standing endurance can change daily life in a very real way. But lentils do even more than provide fuel and minerals. They are rich in leucine, an essential amino acid that plays a critical role in triggering muscle protein synthesis, the process by which your body actually rebuilds and strengthens muscle fibers. According to research published in the journal Clinical Nutrition, leucine is considered the most important single amino acid for stimulating muscle growth in older adults, and many seniors do not consume enough of it. The recommended leucine threshold to trigger effective muscle rebuilding is approximately 2 to 3 grams per meal. 1 cup of cooked lentils provides roughly 1.3 grams, which, when combined with another protein source like eggs, fish, or yogurt at the same meal, can easily push you past that threshold and activate real muscle repair. Lentils also deliver another advantage most people do not think about. They are one of the richest food sources of prebiotic fiber, the type of fiber that feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut. This matters for leg strength because a healthier gut microbiome has been directly linked to lower systemic inflammation and better nutrient absorption. According to research published in the journal Nutrients, older adults with a more diverse gut microbiome showed significantly lower levels of inflammatory markers associated with muscle wasting and joint pain. When your gut is healthy, your body extracts more value from every meal, and your muscles receive more of the nutrients they need to stay strong. For the best results, cook dry lentils until tender and season them with anti-inflammatory ingredients like turmeric, garlic, or a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. Turmeric, in particular, contains curcumin, a compound shown in multiple studies to reduce joint inflammation and muscle soreness, making it an ideal pairing. Avoid canned lentils that contain added sodium or preservatives. The World Health Organization recommends limiting sodium intake to less than 2,000 milligrams per day, and a single can of pre-seasoned lentils can contain over 800 milligrams, nearly half that limit in one serving. You can mash lentils into a thick spread, stir them into soups, or serve them warm alongside cooked vegetables and a piece of fish. Adding 1 cup of cooked lentils to lunch or dinner gives your leg muscles the fuel, the protein, and the minerals they need to recover overnight. Many people who make this simple addition notice better strength and more stability in their legs by the very next morning. For a food that costs almost nothing and takes minutes to prepare, that is a remarkable return. The fifth food on this list is one that many people already know is healthy, but very few realize just how directly it can affect leg strength and mobility. Salmon. Most people think of salmon as a heart-healthy food, and it absolutely is. But its benefits for leg muscles in older adults go far beyond the cardiovascular system. Salmon delivers a powerful combination of vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids, and high-quality complete protein that can have a measurable impact on how your legs feel and perform, often faster than most people expect. To understand why salmon is so effective for leg strength, you need to understand what is actually happening inside aging muscles. After 60, muscle fibers do not just shrink from lack of use. They also become increasingly inflamed at the cellular level. Tiny inflammatory molecules called cytokines accumulate inside and around muscle tissue, slowing down repair, stiffening connective fibers, and making muscles less responsive to the signals your brain sends them. This is one of the key reasons why older adults often feel stiff and weak in the legs even after a full night of rest. The muscles are not just tired, they are inflamed, and that inflammation needs to be addressed before real recovery can begin. This is where salmon makes a dramatic difference. The omega-3 fatty acids in salmon, specifically EPA and DHA, enter muscle cells directly and reduce those inflammatory cytokines at the source. Unlike over-the-counter anti-inflammatory medications that work broadly and can cause side effects with long-term use, omega-3 fats target muscle inflammation naturally and safely. According to a review published in the journal Marine Drugs, regular omega-3 intake was associated with a significant reduction in muscle inflammation markers and improved muscle protein synthesis in adults over 60. That means salmon does not just calm the inflammation, it actually helps your muscles rebuild stronger at the same time. The clinical results are striking. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who ate salmon 3 times per week saw a 24% increase in leg strength and mobility within just 10 days. The improvements were most noticeable in the muscles around the knees and thighs, the exact muscles responsible for standing up from a chair, walking steadily, and climbing stairs without losing balance. Researchers linked those rapid gains to 2 factors: a measurable drop in intramuscular inflammation and a significant rise in muscle protein synthesis after meals. In simple terms, the participants' legs were repairing faster and getting stronger because the inflammation that had been blocking recovery was finally being removed. Vitamin D plays an equally important role. Your muscles need vitamin D to absorb calcium properly and to contract normally. When vitamin D levels are low, muscles can become weak, twitchy, and prone to cramping. According to the National Institutes of Health, approximately 42% of American adults are deficient in vitamin D, And that number climbs even higher among adults over 60, who spend less time outdoors and whose skin produces vitamin D less efficiently from sunlight. A study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that older adults with vitamin D deficiency were nearly twice as likely to experience mobility limitations and difficulty with basic leg functions like walking, rising from a seated position. A single serving of wild-caught salmon provides between 400 and 600 international units of vitamin D, which represents roughly 70 to 100% of the daily recommended intake for most older adults. The protein in salmon matters just as much. As the body ages, it becomes less efficient at converting dietary protein into muscle. This process, known as anabolic resistance, means that older adults need higher quality protein sources to achieve the same muscle-building effect that younger people get more easily. Salmon provides approximately 25 grams of complete protein per 4-ounce serving, with a full amino acid profile that the body can absorb and use efficiently. Combined with the anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats and the vitamin D that supports muscle contraction, this protein does not just sit in your digestive system. It gets delivered to the muscles that need it most. For the best results, choose wild-caught salmon over farm-raised whenever possible. Wild-caught varieties from cold, clean waters, like Alaska, tend to be higher in omega-3 fats and lower in environmental contaminants. Bake it or grill it gently at medium heat with lemon, herbs, and a drizzle of olive oil. Avoid sweet glazes that add unnecessary sugar and avoid deep frying, which destroys a significant portion of the omega-3 content and adds inflammatory trans fats. The American Heart Association recommends at least 2 servings of omega-3 rich fish per week for cardiovascular protection, but for leg strength specifically, the research suggests that 3 servings per week may produce faster and more noticeable results. Even a single 4-ounce serving at dinner can begin making a difference by the next morning. Many older adults who add salmon to their routine consistently report better balance with each step, less stiffness when getting out of bed, and noticeably more strength when standing up from a chair or pushing off to climb stairs. For seniors who want to stay active, mobile, and independent, salmon is not just a healthy meal. It is one of the most effective leg recovery foods available. The 6th food on this list is one that many older adults have heard of, but very few actually eat regularly: quinoa. It often sits on grocery store shelves next to rice and couscous, and most people either walk past it or assume it is just another grain. But quinoa is not a grain at all. It is technically a seed, and what makes it extraordinary is something that almost no other plant-based food can claim. Quinoa contains all 9 essential amino acids your muscles need for growth and repair. That makes it a complete protein, a distinction it shares with animal sources like meat, fish, and eggs, but almost never with plants. Create a 16:9 landscape nutrition infographic. Why does that matter so much for leg strength? Because your leg muscles are the largest muscle group in your body. They require a constant supply of amino acids to maintain their mass, repair daily wear, and generate the force needed for walking, standing, balancing, and climbing. When even one essential amino acid is missing from a meal, the muscle rebuilding process slows down or stalls entirely. According to research published in the journal Clinical Nutrition, older adults who consumed incomplete protein sources at meals showed significantly lower rates of muscle protein synthesis compared to those who consumed complete proteins. For seniors who eat less meat due to digestive issues, dental problems, cost, or personal preference, this amino acid gap can quietly accelerate muscle loss without them ever realizing the cause. Quinoa fills that gap perfectly. 1 cup of cooked quinoa provides approximately 8 grams of complete protein along with 5 grams of fiber, which slows digestion and helps maintain steady blood sugar levels for hours after eating. That steady energy release is critical for leg performance. According to the American Diabetes Association, blood sugar instability is one of the most common causes of unexplained weakness and fatigue in older adults, particularly in the legs. When energy levels crash after a meal heavy in refined carbohydrates, the large muscles in the thighs and calves are often the first to feel it. Quinoa prevents that crash entirely, keeping your muscles fueled with a slow, consistent supply of energy that lasts well into the evening. But quinoa delivers far more than protein and steady energy. It is also rich in magnesium, providing roughly 118 milligrams per cooked cup, about 30% of the daily recommended intake for most older women. As we discussed earlier, magnesium is essential for preventing muscle cramps and supporting proper nerve-to-muscle communication. Quinoa also provides iron, which supports red blood cell production and oxygen delivery to working muscles, potassium, which helps regulate fluid balance and muscle contractions, and vitamin E, an antioxidant that protects muscle cell membranes from oxidative damage. Together, these nutrients create a support system that addresses multiple causes of leg weakness simultaneously. The clinical evidence is encouraging. A study published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that adults who replaced refined carbohydrates with quinoa reported better muscle endurance and less soreness after just 1 day of physical activity. Another study conducted in Brazil found that seniors who ate quinoa at lunch performed noticeably better on walking tests the following morning compared to those who ate white bread or white rice. Researchers attributed the improvement to quinoa's slower digestion rate, its higher magnesium content that helps prevent nighttime cramping, and its complete amino acid profile that supports muscle repair during sleep. Preparation is simple and takes less than 20 minutes. Rinse quinoa thoroughly under cold water before cooking. This step is important because it removes saponins, a natural coating on the seeds that can taste bitter and may cause mild digestive discomfort if not washed off. Then, simmer the quinoa in water or low-sodium broth at a ratio of roughly 1 part quinoa to 2 parts liquid until the seeds become fluffy and the small spiral-shaped germ separates from the seed. You can tell it is done when the quinoa looks translucent and has a slight pop when you bite into it. From there, the possibilities are wide. Mix it into a breakfast bowl with eggs and sautéed spinach for a meal that combines 3 leg-strengthening foods in one plate. Serve it as a side dish alongside salmon for a dinner that delivers complete protein, omega-3 fats, and steady energy all at once. Stir it into vegetable soups to add substance and nutrition without heaviness, or simply season it with olive oil, lemon, and herbs, and eat it on its own as a light afternoon meal. Have one serving in the afternoon or evening. Within hours, the nutrients begin working, providing your legs with more sustained energy, better mineral support for nerve and muscle communication, and the complete set of amino acids needed to repair and rebuild while you sleep. Many people who make quinoa a regular part of their meals notice improved leg coordination, more pushing power when walking or climbing stairs, and a stronger, more stable feeling on their feet. For a food that is affordable, easy to cook, and entirely plant-based, quinoa punches far above its weight as a leg-strengthening tool for older adults. The 7th food on this list is one that can change how your legs feel within just a few hours of eating it: beets. They are more than just a colorful root vegetable that shows up in salads and side dishes. For older adults dealing with heavy, stiff, or weak legs, beets are one of the fastest-acting natural solutions available, and the science behind why they work is remarkably clear. The secret is nitrates. Beets are one of the richest natural sources of dietary nitrates of any commonly eaten food. When you eat beets, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide through a 2-step process that begins in the mouth and continues in the bloodstream. Nitric oxide is a powerful signaling molecule that tells blood vessels to relax and widen. When your blood vessels expand, more blood flows through them, carrying more oxygen and more nutrients to every muscle in your body. And the muscles that benefit the most are the ones farthest from your heart, the muscles in your legs. This matters enormously after 60, because circulation to the lower body naturally declines with age. Blood vessels stiffen, arterial walls thicken, and the heart has to work harder to push blood all the way down to the calves and feet. According to the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, arterial stiffness increases by approximately 15 to 20% per decade after age 50. That progressive loss of flexibility means that by the time someone reaches their mid-60s or 70s, their leg muscles may be receiving significantly less oxygen than they did just 10 or 15 years earlier. The result is a set of symptoms that millions of seniors experience every single day. Legs that feel heavy when walking, calves that tire quickly on stairs, a general sensation of sluggishness in the lower body that does not improve with rest alone. Most people assume these feelings are just what aging does, but in many cases, the underlying issue is not the muscles themselves. It is the blood supply reaching those muscles. Beets address that problem directly and quickly. A study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that seniors who drank beet juice before walking saw a 19% increase in walking speed and significant improvement in leg muscle performance within just a few hours of consumption. That is not a gradual improvement over weeks or months. That is a measurable change in the same day. Another landmark study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that one daily serving of beet juice significantly lowered blood pressure and improved arterial flexibility in adults over 60. When arteries become more flexible, blood flows more freely to the lower extremities, and muscles that were previously starved of oxygen suddenly have what they need to function properly again. The blood pressure benefits alone make beets worth paying attention to. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, nearly 60% of American adults over 60 have hypertension, and high blood pressure is one of the leading contributors to cardiovascular disease, stroke, and kidney damage. A separate study published in the journal Hypertension linked the nitric oxide boost from beet consumption to measurably better lower body mobility and reduced physical fatigue in older adults. Participants in that study reported feeling steadier on their feet, less sore after walking, and more energized throughout the day. For seniors who have been told to manage blood pressure through diet, beets offer a double benefit, lowering pressure while simultaneously improving the leg strength and mobility that high blood pressure quietly undermines. The effects are not subtle. Professional athletes have used beet juice as a performance enhancer for years because of its proven ability to increase endurance, delay muscle fatigue, and improve oxygen efficiency during physical effort. The same physiological mechanisms that help a marathon runner maintain pace in the final miles can help a 70-year-old walk through a grocery store with less pain, climb a flight of stairs with more confidence, and stand in the kitchen long enough to prepare a full meal without needing to sit down. You do not have to eat beets raw to get the benefits. In fact, there are several effective ways to incorporate them into your routine. You can steam them until tender and slice them into a salad. You can roast them with a light drizzle of olive oil and a pinch of herbs, which brings out their natural sweetness and makes them easy to enjoy as a side dish. You can blend raw beets into a smoothie with other fruits to mask the earthy flavor. But for the fastest and most concentrated results, pure beetroot juice is the most efficient option. Choose 100% unsweetened and undiluted beetroot juice with no added sugars or fillers. Drink a small glass of approximately 6 to 8 ounces first thing in the morning on an empty stomach or about 30 minutes before any physical activity. This timing allows your body to convert the nitrates into nitric oxide right when your muscles need it most. The effects can begin within 2 to 3 hours. Your legs may feel lighter, more responsive, and noticeably less prone to the heaviness and fatigue that have become a daily frustration. For older adults who have been living with sluggish, unreliable legs, beets offer something rare, a natural food that can produce a genuine, research-backed improvement in leg function the very same day you eat it. The eighth and final food on this list is one that has been used for centuries, but is only now getting the scientific recognition it deserves. Bone broth. It may look like a simple bowl of soup, but what it actually delivers to your muscles, joints, and connective tissue is far more powerful than most people realize. For older adults dealing with weak legs, stiff knees, sore calves, or joints that ache with every step, bone broth is not just comfort food. It is concentrated recovery fuel in liquid form. What makes bone broth so uniquely effective is its composition. When animal bones are simmered slowly for hours, they release collagen, gelatin, amino acids, electrolytes, and anti-inflammatory compounds directly into the liquid. These are not random nutrients. They are the exact building blocks your body uses to repair muscle fibers, rebuild connective tissue, lubricate joints, and reduce the inflammation that accumulates in aging legs day after day. The three most important amino acids in bone broth are glycine, proline, and glutamine. Glycine helps reduce inflammation and supports the central nervous system, improving the speed and accuracy of nerve signals to your leg muscles. Proline is essential for rebuilding collagen, the structural protein that holds your tendons, ligaments, and joint cartilage together. Glutamine supports immune function and helps maintain the integrity of the gut lining, which, as we discussed earlier, directly affects how well your body absorbs nutrients from every other food you eat. The clinical evidence is impressive. According to research published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition and Metabolism, glycine supplementation helped increase muscle regeneration and significantly sped up recovery after physical exertion in older adults. A separate Japanese study found that glycine increased leg muscle recovery speed by over 40% after just 1 day of use. That means a single serving of glycine-rich bone broth could measurably accelerate how fast your leg muscles bounce back from a morning walk, a trip to the grocery store, or a session of physical therapy. Another clinical trial reported that adults who consumed collagen-rich bone broth daily noticed improvements in leg function and reduced soreness within 24 hours, along with a 36% increase in strength and flexibility within 1 week. Those numbers are significant when you consider how many older adults struggle with the cumulative effects of slow recovery. According to the National Institute on Aging, adults over 65 take approximately twice as long to recover from physical exertion compared to adults in their 30s. That slower recovery is not just an inconvenience. It creates a dangerous cycle. Your legs feel sore after activity, so you move less. Moving less causes muscles to weaken further. Weaker muscles make every activity harder, which causes more soreness, which causes even less movement. Over time, this cycle leads to the loss of independence that so many seniors fear. Bone broth helps break that cycle by dramatically shortening recovery time so that your legs are ready to move again sooner, with less pain and more strength. The reason bone broth works so quickly compared to many other foods is simple. The nutrients are already broken down into liquid form. Your digestive system does not have to work hard to extract them. They are absorbed rapidly and delivered to the tissues that need them most. For older adults whose digestion has slowed with age, and according to the American Gastroenterological Association, that includes a significant portion of adults over 60, this bioavailability advantage makes bone broth one of the most efficient ways to deliver recovery nutrients to aging muscles and joints. For the best results, homemade bone broth is ideal. Use pasture-raised chicken bones or grass-fed beef bones, as these tend to produce broth with higher collagen and mineral content. Add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to the pot before simmering. The mild acidity helps draw more minerals out of the bones and into the liquid. Add garlic and herbs like rosemary or thyme for additional anti-inflammatory benefits. Simmer the broth for at least 12 hours, and up to 24 hours for maximum nutrient extraction. If making your own is not practical, choose a high-quality store-bought option that lists bones as the first ingredient and contains no added sugars, artificial flavors, or excessive sodium. Remember that the World Health Organization recommends keeping sodium intake below 2,000 milligrams per day, and some commercial broths can contain over 800 milligrams per single cup. Drink bone broth warm on an empty stomach in the morning or immediately after physical activity. Even 1 cup can deliver an immediate supply of collagen, amino acids, and electrolytes that your muscles and joints can begin using right away. Many seniors who make bone broth a daily habit report feeling less stiff within hours, moving more smoothly throughout the day, and stepping with more confidence and less hesitation. Now that you know all 8 foods, let me share 5 simple morning strategies that can help you get even more out of them. These are small changes that take almost no extra time but can significantly increase how fast your legs respond. The first strategy is to start your morning with beetroot juice or tart cherry juice on an empty stomach. These 2 drinks have the strongest circulation boosting and anti-inflammatory effects when nothing else is competing for your digestive system's attention. Drinking 6 to 8 ounces of unsweetened juice before eating anything else allows your body to convert nitrates into nitric oxide and begin absorbing anthocyanins more efficiently. Within about an hour, many people notice reduced stiffness and smoother movement in their legs. Do not chase it with a heavy meal right away. Sip slowly and let it work on its own for at least 20 to 30 minutes. The second strategy is to pair a slow-digesting carbohydrate like lentils or quinoa with your protein source at the same meal. Your muscles need more than protein to rebuild. They need steady energy to actually use that protein effectively. When you eat salmon, eggs, or bone broth alongside quinoa or lentils, your body releases energy gradually over several hours instead of burning through it in one quick spike. This prevents the midday leg fatigue that so many older adults struggle with, that feeling of heaviness and weakness that hits around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. A lunch of lentil soup with roasted vegetables or quinoa with eggs and spinach is an ideal combination that delivers complete protein, steady fuel, and anti-inflammatory nutrients all in one meal. The third strategy is to drink warm bone broth 20 to 30 minutes after a morning walk or any kind of physical movement. This timing is intentional. After movement, even gentle stretching or an easy walk around the block, your muscle fibers become more receptive to absorbing collagen and amino acids. This post-movement window is when your muscles are most ready to accept the building blocks they need for repair. A small cup of warm bone broth during this window can jumpstart recovery, reduce soreness in the calves and knees, and help your legs feel noticeably better by the afternoon. Make it a consistent part of your routine after every walk. The cumulative effect over days and weeks can be remarkable. The fourth strategy is specifically for anyone who regularly experiences leg cramps. Start your day with 1 to 2 tablespoons of soaked pumpkin seeds. As we covered earlier, pumpkin seeds are one of the richest sources of magnesium, zinc, and potassium. The three minerals most directly responsible for proper muscle contraction. When these mineral levels are low, your legs can feel heavy, twitchy, or unstable, and nighttime cramps become far more frequent. Soaking the seeds overnight makes them easier to digest and removes phytic acid that would otherwise block mineral absorption. Add them to a smoothie, eat them with a piece of fruit, or sprinkle them over yogurt. If you often wake up with calf tightness or cramping, especially when going downstairs in the morning, this simple habit can make a noticeable difference within days. The fifth strategy is to add even a small amount of cooked spinach to your breakfast every day. It does not need to be a large portion. Even half a cup stirred into scrambled eggs, sautéed with olive oil and garlic as a side, or mixed into warm quinoa, is enough to deliver a meaningful dose of dietary nitrates that will improve blood flow to your legs for hours afterward. The key is not quantity, but consistency. Daily nitrate-rich greens have been linked in multiple studies to stronger and faster leg performance in older adults, with some improvements showing up the very same day. It does not need to be complicated or time-consuming. It just needs to happen every morning. You have now learned 8 foods that do far more than just build muscle. They target the real reasons why your legs feel weak, heavy, and unreliable after 60. And the most remarkable part is how quickly they can begin working. Not weeks, not months. In many cases, as little as 12 hours. That is not marketing. That is what clinical research consistently shows. Each of these 8 foods addresses a different piece of the puzzle. Pumpkin seeds replenish the magnesium your muscles are silently starving for, stopping cramps and reducing fatigue at the source. Tart cherry juice floods your body with anthocyanins that fight inflammation and clear the lactic acid that makes your legs stiff and sore after even light activity. Cooked spinach delivers nitrates that widen your blood vessels and restore the oxygen flow your leg muscles have been missing. Lentils provide the slow, steady fuel that keeps your legs powered for hours without the crashes that come from refined carbohydrates. Salmon brings omega-3 fats that enter your muscle cells directly, calming the inflammation that blocks recovery while delivering vitamin D and complete protein for real structural repair. Quinoa gives your body every essential amino acid it needs to rebuild muscle fibers overnight. Beets supercharge your circulation so that blood, oxygen, and nutrients can finally reach the muscles in your lower body the way they are supposed to. And bone broth delivers collagen, glycine, and proline in a form so easily absorbed that your joints and muscles can begin using them within hours. Here is what most people never realize. Leg weakness after 60 is not always just aging. In fact, it is often not aging at all. It is a nutrition issue, a circulation issue, a recovery issue. And when you fix those things, when you give your muscles the specific nutrients they have been missing, your legs respond. Sometimes slowly, sometimes remarkably fast, but they respond. You walk with more strength. You stand with more confidence. You climb stairs without gripping the railing and hoping for the best. You get out of a chair without needing to push off with your hands. You move through your day without that constant heaviness that has been following you around for months or even years. And perhaps most importantly, you stop being afraid of falling. According to the National Council on Aging, 1 in 4 Americans over 65 falls each year, and the fear of falling causes nearly as much damage as falling itself, because it leads people to move less, go out less, and slowly withdraw from the active life they used to enjoy. When your legs feel strong and stable underneath you, that fear begins to fade. And when fear fades, life opens back up. So here is your challenge. You do not need to change everything at once. You do not need to eat all 8 foods tomorrow. Just pick one single food from this list. Try it today. Pay attention to how your legs feel tomorrow morning. Many people notice better control, improved balance, and less stiffness after just one day. Then try another, and another. Stack them one at a time, one meal at a time, one day at a time. Small changes done consistently are what create lasting strength. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 8 foods are you most excited to try first? Tell me in the comments. Your answer might inspire someone else who is watching and wondering where to start. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If this video helped you, please give it a like and share it with someone you care about. A parent, a spouse, a friend, anyone who deserves to know that stronger legs are possible at any age. And if you have not subscribed yet, now is the time. There is so much more to come. Remember this. Aging does not have to mean getting weaker. Your body still has the ability to rebuild, to recover, and to surprise you with what it can do when you give it the right fuel. With the right daily habits, you can wake up every morning feeling stronger than the day before. The choice is yours. Have a wonderful day and take good care of yourself.